And welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Precious and this is Precious Reads. So these are the books that I read in April. So let's begin the wrap up. The first book that I read was He's Valentine by Kate Hunt. Now this is a novella. It is a very short 34-page book. I found like Kindle Unlimited was suggesting a lot of her books, so I just picked one up. This is about a girl who's born on Valentine's, and she meets a guy at a bar, has a one-night stand with him. There's a surprise baby, but they don't exchange any sort of communication, so she decides to keep the baby. He doesn't know anything about it, and then on Valentine's Day, a couple of months later, they bump into each other again. This was really cute. It wrapped everything up really nicely, and yeah, it's kind of insta-lovey. It's 34 pages, so be warned, and it's very soft and palatable. So if you are like me, indecisive, don't know what you want to read, pick this up. It's like a little palate cleanser. I picked up another Kate Hunt book called Born to Hate You. This is an enemies to lovers, another very short novella by Kate Hunt, if I already said that. A guy used to bully this girl in high school. He made her life a living hell. A couple of years later, her mother's getting a house remodeled, and she walks in to find out that the contractor is actually the guy who made her life a misery. She tries to get him to back off from working on her mother's house because she still has feelings about what happened and is still affected by it. But they come to an understanding, and then he asks her out for a date. Again, short, straight to the point, but it made sense. Insta-lovey. If you want that progression over time, you're not going to get that. Again, it's a short 34 to 50 page novella, so here we go. And then I read something that I wanted to read for a while, and I forgot about it, and that's A Trial of Sorcerers by Elise Culver. Again, when I saw this a couple of months ago, I loved the cover, and I was waiting for the release date. The release date came and went because life happened. I forgot about it, so I had to pick it up this month. So this is it's about a competition, and this competition is held in order to create to fix the divides between these two nations of Sorcerers, and I forgot what the other nation was called, but it's a nation of elves. A lot of the people in Sorcerers didn't really know that this place exists, but now one of the princesses of Sorcerers went there on a peacekeeping mission, and she is to be wed there. Now, to sort of alleviate a lot of people's fears and mysteries about this place, they've decided to create a competition in Sorcerers. People have different magical abilities that are sort of environmentally based, so like water, earth, fire, that sort of thing. And we meet Arul. I think her name is Arul. We meet the heroine who has, guys, I imagined Elsa in this entire book. When I read it, I saw Elsa because she had the power to freeze things. And what I enjoyed about this book immensely is that she was sort of a gray character. She's always been sort of held with wrapped in cotton by her brother Marcus and by her father and mother and uncle, and sort of protected. And you find out the reason why they treat her with kid gloves is really, sad. And she wants to prove herself to them. She wants to prove that she's just as good as her brother. Her brother's like the golden child of the family, and with this competition she has to go against them because they don't want her to be part of the competition. But she pushes through. She joins the competition against their concerns, and she tries to prove herself. She learns things about herself, her abilities, her family, her upbringing, who she is, and she also becomes more confident. But with that sort of exploration, she meets certain people and things don't go down as well. There's a lot of tears. It was beautiful. There was a love triangle, but this read very YA-ish, so if you're not into YA, you may not enjoy this as much. But yeah, the imagery was really good. I can't wait for the second book. And Elise Culver really knows how to build her world. Yeah, and hey, there's elves in it. There's elves. The next book that I picked up was Bamba Duty by Cora Riley. Again, continuing my Cora Riley expedition. So this follows Dante and Valentina. Both of these characters have been married before. So this was kind of different to the regular virgin kept for the underboss sort of situation. Dante is not really getting into this union for any romantic reasons. He's just doing it because his family told him to do it. And Valentina, again, a woman who is just single in these mafia families, it's not advisable, I guess. So her and Dante, they get together, and yeah, secrets are revealed about her previous marriage for her and for Dante, and their union is made stronger because they have to come together. They really have to come together, and they need to support one another and to trust one another. Dante has his own trust issues, and he lost his wife. Both of them lost their partners, and it's really affected how they show affection to their new partners. So yeah, learning to love again basically is what Bamba Duty was about. Then an amazing surprise, like an interesting like beautiful surprise, was Ruthless Creatures by J.T. Geisinger. Now this came out of nowhere. I saw this on Mary's Facebook page, Mary's Facebook page, people talking about it a while ago. So when it popped up on my Kindle Unlimited suggestions, I was like, okay, let's see. Guys, Cage and Natalie. So Natalie was left at the altar by her fiance, and he basically disappeared. He went out one day, never came back. He went on a hike or something, and he's presumed dead. And this happened 5 years ago, but she's been trying very hard to get through it and hasn't. And her friend, who, yes, she's getting her own book. This is phenomenal. Her friend is trying to pull her out of this, trying to be the moral support, trying to be the best sister friend that she can be. And she takes her out, tries to get her to loosen up. And at the bar, they meet this dark and handsome stranger who's new to their town. And Natalie's friend tries to flirt with him. He shuts her down. Natalie tries, he shuts her down, but she can feel something. She feels that connection. She feels that attraction that he also has for her. And it starts from there. There are so many secrets and revelations. This was like, it was thrilling. It was thrilling. It was entertaining. You didn't want to put this book down, and the smut was so hot. So hot. And there's a scene of like spanking. Guys, I've read spanking before, but read this book. Read this book. I picked up another J.T. Geisinger book because I loved her writing so damn much. And this was called Beautifully Cruel, and this follows Liam Black, Irish mafia boss. He comes to this diner every couple of months, every couple of weeks, and he just sits there and he has terrible coffee, but served by a beautiful waitress. I don't know if I wrote down her name. Her name is Truby. And they have this connection and this attraction to each other, but nobody says anything. It's just sort of out there in the open. And over time, she just becomes comfortable with him coming in. He's dark, he's tall, he's mysterious, he's always in a suit. She doesn't really know much about him, and she's scared to talk to him because she has verbal diarrhea, basically. Whenever there were so many times I was cringing, like, girl, he doesn't need to know about your farm in Alabama. Girl, wrap it up. But they decide to explore whatever the connection that they have, but he's very reluctant to tell her what he does and what his life's about. And she, the first heroine that I read, you know, who was like, you know what, this sounds too good to be true, so thanks but no thanks, bye. And he leaves her alone for some time. Read the book, Liam Black. Liam Black, just the imagery of Liam. Tall, dark, tattoos, brooding, beard, bulky, beautiful. And you find out he has a sibling, and the sibling gets a book. And what I'm finding out from my Facebook groups, you know, my romance Facebook groups, that one is just as good. So next month I think I'm going to read Killian's book. And I can't wait for Sloane's book. Oh yes, that's my next one. Then I read Twisted Wires. Twisted Wires was a TikTok recommendation. I follow Lynn Locke on TikTok, and she gives like really like fascinating book recommendations that I would not have thought of before. So I decided to read her book. She had a recommendation video about cyborg romance. Dude, never even thought that was a thing. I picked up her book. It is available on Kindle Unlimited. It was phenomenal. It is a novella. It follows Charlotte and Matthew. They grew up together. Matthew is a cyborg created by Charlotte's father. Charlotte's father was just a terrible person who treated her poorly because all his energy and his fascination was on Matthew, who is like this perfect creation, and then started pushing Matthew in the direction of running his company. Charlotte is a mechanical engineer that also works in his company and has a very prestigious position in his company, which was amazing because the book read very intelligently, and she was an intelligent, accomplished woman, which I loved, but who also suffered from psychological issues, and she was struggling with depression. So trigger warning for that, and trigger warning as well for suicide or attempted suicide. And they've always had sort of like a strenuous relationship because of her father's like meddling. But Charlotte has always had, she found him attractive, but she also thought that something's wrong with her because she finds a cyborg, a person, a thing that's not alive, she finds that attractive. So that was also factoring into her negative imagery of herself, which was pretty sad. But at the same time, Matthew was also pining over her, but she would always snap at him because of her own issues. But when the company is put into a position where that they can help people and he doesn't want to, they have to fight amongst each other for the company and for the well-being of people. This was amazing. Just finding out how Matthew truly cared for her, and the plot twist is really heartbreaking. And I think this is her debut novel. That was so damn good, girl. It was so good. So that was Twisted Wires by Lillian Block. She has two other books. One is a male-female paranormal romance, and the other is a serial killer romance that I want to pick up soon. Okay, so Black Clover came to an end. I had no idea Black Clover was going to end at episode 170. So when I started seeing, because I was a little bit behind on the episodes, and people were like, this is the final episode, are you sure? And people were like arguing on the internet about it being the final or the manga is going to continue. So I was like, I was shocked. And yeah, I think it's time to get back to the manga, because initially I started the manga first and I thought that was amazing, and I stopped at the trials. There was a trial competition in the beginning of the books. I stopped there, and then I was fascinated with obviously the anime. But the anime came to an end, so I decided to just get to the most recent volume, which basically just follows the last episode. Asta, you know, Why did it end? Why did it end? It was so good, and I loved it from the beginning. I loved it from the beginning, so I don't understand. Anyway, volume 25, Asta and Lieb, they try to create an alliance with each other, and we see Lieb's memories. Guys, don't want to go there. I read volume 25 of Black Clover. Another manga that I read was The Wonderful Season with You by Atsuko Yusen. This is a BL, a clean BL, a jock and a nerd. They get together. It's a high school romance where a jock who can't play his sports anymore is trying to get another extra curricular activity to sort of take his mind away from his own situations. And in this, I think it's called the programming club, he meets a very shy guy with beautiful eyes. This was so cute. This was so perfect, and just this chunky huge guy and this like sweet like nerdy guy. It was so cute. It was so cute, and his friends in the programming group trying to defend him and like trying to protect him. Don't mess with our friend type situation was also kind of good. And then I also read Star Collector Volume 1 by Anna Beckhausen. Okay, this was a random that I found on Scribd. This guy breaks up with his girlfriend because he has no direction. He's just hanging around. He's not really doing anything with his life. Yes, they're still in high school, but he sort of has no goals, and his girlfriend breaks up with him. He's like upset about it a little bit, not really, and he decides to just take a walk, and he stumbles upon a guy who's stargazing, and this guy happens to go to the same high school as him. He had no idea. So they start this friendship off, just talking about stars and his fascination and how he's never seen a shooting star. And yeah, the romance begins there. There wasn't that whole "I'm not gay" type situation. It was just like, I like you, do you like me? There was a bit of conflict when he wasn't sure, is he gonna go back to his girlfriend? Maybe he's just playing the field with me, like just regular high school nonsense, which was great. I loved it. I also read She's Her Knight. I got it on NetGalley. The author's name, hopefully on the picture, I have it there. This is about a popular, attractive guy in school whose shine is stolen by a new girl who is just as attractive or even more attractive, and she is sort of taken the attention of him a little bit because he's still attractive, and on her a little bit, but he is starting to realize that, hey, I'm affected by her too. She's really gorgeous, and he's starting to realize, I think, that he has a crush on her. This was volume 1. It was really cute. I said that about all the mangas. Yeah, I haven't read any problematic mangas, so that's good. It was really delightful and pleasant and just down to earth and slice of lifey. So yeah, I really enjoyed that, and I can't wait for the next volume. And I think Bamba Duty. Oh, one more Cora that I read, and that was Bound by Vengeance. This one, how did I forget it when I just finished reading it this morning? Anyway, Growl and Cora. Cora's father betrays the couple of the Kimura, and as punishment she's given to Growl, who is like the scary bad guy that people just like sort of shun even in their community, and she's given to him as a gift. And as you know, in this world, a girl can't be unmarried and with a man, so this is totally disrespectful to her family. Her father he betrayed the couple, so this was sort of punishment, and it's a punishment not just for the family, but it's also punishment to Cora and punishment for Growl as well, giving him this like beautiful doll of a woman, and he believes he's like the opposite to her. Self-love Growl. It was really painful seeing somebody so beaten down, but also so strong at the same time. So that was kind of, you know, taken aback. And it was also very different to the other Cora Rileys that I read. He didn't live in this like uppity, you know, mansions. He had pets and he was very down to earth and he kept to himself. And I really liked that and I enjoyed that. And Cora enjoyed that as well, even though she didn't know that in the beginning, was trying to scheming to get him to be on her side to help her family, because the capo, I forgot his name, he took her mother and her sister as hostages to try to negotiate with Luca in New York, and the negotiations weren't going well, so she was fearful of her mother's life, and she tries to convince Growl to help her save her family. So yeah, a lot of tension, very nail-biting end, and it ended on a good note, a happy ending. HEA, that's all we want. That's all we want. No cliffhangers, no weird nonsense. They were mutually attracted to each other, so there's no consent issues, even though you would assume there would be. But the moment she saw him, she was attracted to him, but was also not sure if she should be because he's like shunned by their community. Yeah, whatever. Beautiful, romantic. The spice was steamy and so hot, and her coming to terms with her desires was also something that was like intriguing and interesting. So another Cora Riley that I absolutely enjoyed. If you want to connect with me, I have an Instagram, Precious Reads, with a Z or a Z at the end, and I also have a TikTok, which is fairly new, Precious Reads. Follow me on there, and bye-bye.